Hello all, I'm Guna Madhivanan from Officers IAS Academy. Friends, we are coming up with an exclusive live quiz program based on current affairs targeting 2024 prelims on a weekly basis. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in our Officers Path channel, we will be coming up with this live quiz program. So how to participate? So for which you have to install an mobile application. So go to either App Store or the Google Play Store to download this application named Kahoot application. Download and install it. Alright. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in the live video, I will be giving you a 7-digit PIN. So you have to enter that 7-digit PIN in your installed application. In that Kahoot application, you have to enter that 7-digit PIN. Or we will give you a QR code. If you are not interested in installing the application, you can scan the QR code in the web browser. You can open the web page. In that you can enter this 7-digit PIN number and you can participate in this quiz program. So once you enter the 7-digit number, the application will ask you to give a username. So you have to give your username. Followed by your username, please give your last 4 digits of your mobile phone number. For example, my username is Guna8990, the last 4 digits of my phone number. So like that you can create your own username. That's all. You are ready to participate in the quiz. So in the live video, I will be showing you the question. The question will be followed by 4 options as usual, A, B, C, D. The 4 options will have a color code, right? So option A, red color, option B, blue color, option C, green color, option D, yellow color. So the 4 options will have 4 different color codes. So in your mobile phone, you have installed the Kahoot application, right? So the Kahoot application in your phone, in your device, it will show you 4 colored box, only 4 colored box. Only in the video which you are watching, in that live video, I will give you the question, followed by that 4 option I will be giving you. The 4 option will have a color code, right? So if you are going to choose A as the right answer, then A has red color, then in your mobile phone you will have a red colored box. You have to choose that. That's all. If the answer which you have chosen is correct, and if you have chosen that quickly, for every question we will give you 60 seconds. Assume that I am choosing A is the right answer, and I am choosing within 20 seconds, within 10 seconds. Based on how quickly I choose the question, I have to choose the correct one and I have to choose it as early as possible. So the one who is choosing at the earliest will be given more points. So if I am choosing in 20 seconds, I will be given more points. If someone is choosing at 30 seconds, then relatively lesser points, right? So this is how the quiz will work. So at the end of the program, we will show you the leaderboard. Between the questions also, I will show you the leaderboard. At the end, I will show you the final leaderboard. The one with more number of points will be given a certificate, right? The idea of the quiz program is to provide you a real-time experience of solving the questions along with that competitive environment, right? I hope this program adds more value to your preparation. So along with this, we have a daily current affairs hit list series, daily answer rating initiative. So all these initiatives will give you a competitive edge in your 2024 prelims as well as mains, right? I hope this adds more value to your preparation. So see you in the quiz. Till then, bye, take care.
A very happy evening all of you. I welcome you all to Officers on UPSC Online Quiz. I am Swetha from Officers IAS Academy and I will be hosting the quiz for today. The game pin for today is 123385. I repeat, it is 123385. Before we start the quiz, let's just brush up with the basic instructions. You will be having 15 questions and a time of 30 seconds to answer each question. but the fastest mind gets to score the maximum points. So everybody buckle up and let's kick off with the first question right away. Which of the following have been identified as possible causes of zoonotic diseases? Direct contact with body fluids of an infected animal, consumption of contaminated food, climate change, deforestation. Select the correct answer using the codes below. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1, 2, 3, option C 2, 3 and 4 only, and option D 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 36 answers so far. The clock is ticking. And yes, the time's up. So the correct answer for this question is option D 1, 2, 3 and 4. So zoonotic diseases, they are those infections which get transmitted from non-human animals to humans. So they can be caused because of bacteria, virus, or even fungi or parasites. So coming to the causes of zoonotic diseases, we see all the 4 options are right. You may catch an infection when you get in direct contact with the body fluids of an infected animal, or sometimes if you consume the food which is infected with the body fluids of the infected animal, also you might catch an infection. So why is climate change a reason? It is because climate change, the scientists predict that the climate crisis might cause a zoonotic spillover, and they are predicting that there may be more than 15,000 instances of virus transmission over the next 50 years. Deforestation, because of deforestation or fragmentation of land holdings, the contact with wild animals and humans is increased. So there are higher chances of us getting infected with zoonotic diseases. Let us go to the leaderboard. We have Yogi in the first place, followed by Paul and Kaushik. Kavya and Sujit are in the 4th and 5th place. Good going, guys. Let's pass on to the next question. Consider the following statements. Manipur shares its border with 4 Indian states. Manipur shares its international boundaries with Myanmar and Bangladesh. Which of the following statements is or are correct? Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, and option D neither 1 nor 2. We have 43 responses, 44. More responses are expected. Yes, and the time is up. We see that the correct answer for this question is option D, neither 1 nor 2. So why was this question asked? Is because Manipur has been in the news because of the ethnic violence taking place there. Manipur, the name Manipur, it means land of gems. So if you see the bordering Indian states, it shares its borders with 3 Indian states. Those the states are Nagaland, Mizoram and Assam. And it shares its the international boundary is there only with one country, and that is Myanmar. It is there to the east and to the south. It does not share a border with Bangladesh. So that is why both the options are wrong. India shares its longest border with Bangladesh. So it has a total land border of 4,096 kilometers, and 5 states of India share its border with Bangladesh. Passing on to the third question. On the leaderboard, we have Sujit on the first place, Mani on the second place, Kaushik on the third, Kavya and Paul on the 4th and 5th respectively. Keep going, guys. Sujit has been the highest climber so far. Good going, Sujit. Passing on to the next question. The salt-tolerant PoKKali rice variety is indigenous to the state of option A, Kerala, option B, West Bengal, option C, Odisha, and option D, Andhra Pradesh. We've got 41 answers so far. 45. The clock is ticking, guys. Come on, more responses are expected. And yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option A, Kerala. PoKKali is a saline water resistant rice variety which is there in the coastal areas of Kerala. This rice variety has received a GI tag as well. So what is the speciality of this rice is that it is known as the clever man's rice. Why is it called so is because the farmers there, they utilize the natural ecosystem as a fertilizer and they cultivate the crops. We see that the rice variety and the prawns, they are being cultured on the same field. So the prawns and the rice varieties, they are mutually complementary to each other. The rice, it gets its nutrients from the excrements of the prawns, and the prawns in turn get their nutrients from leftover harvest crops. So this is why they are mutually complementary. Let us go to the leaderboard. So Sujit is still in the first place, Mani in the second, Kaushik followed by Kavya and Paul. Good going, guys. Passing on to the fourth question for today. Which of the following diseases are covered under India's universal immunization program? Polio, measles, diphtheria, hepatitis C. Select the correct answer from the given codes. Option A 1, 2, 3 only, option B 2, 3, 4 only, option C 1 and 3 and option D 1, 2, 3, 4. We have already received 42 answers, 43. And yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option A 1, 2 and 3. Let us have a general idea about this universal immunization program. It was started in 1985. It is to provide free of cost immunization against 12 vaccine preventable diseases. For 9 diseases, the vaccination is provided nationally, and for 3 diseases, it is given in endemic districts alone. So, in the set of 12 diseases, we have polio, measles and diphtheria. So, the first 3 diseases are true, but it is not hepatitis C, it is hepatitis B. Hepatitis C, there is no vaccine as of now. So, the fourth option is wrong. So, that is why the correct answer is 1, 2 and 3. Passing on, to re-energize this universal immunization program, the government of India came up with mission Indradhanush in the year 2014, and again it was converted into intensified mission Indradhanush in 2017. This is to cover all the children up to 2 years of age and also all pregnant mothers who are left out of the routine immunization. So this is the extra information about it. Let us go to the leaderboard. We have Sujit in the first place, followed by Mani. Paul has come to the third place. 4th and 5th places are occupied by Shankari and Kaushik. And Paul, he has the highest answer streak of 4. Good going, Paul. Let's pass on to the next question. So the 5th question for today is, consider the following statements about global partnership on artificial intelligence. First statement, it is an international initiative to support responsible and human-centric development and the use of artificial intelligence. Statement 2, India is the current chair of GPAI. Which of the following statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. We have received 47 responses so far, 48. And yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option C. Both the statements given above are true. GPAI, it is a multi-stakeholder initiative. Why was this started? It was started to bridge the gap between the theory and the applications of AI. It was started in the year 2020 and India joined it in 2020 as a founding member. So option 1 is correct. Statement 1 is correct, and option 2, India is the current chair of GPAI. So why was this in the news? It is because India hosted the annual GPAI summit in New Delhi. What is the outcome of this summit? All the members together, they adopted something called as New Delhi Declaration. So what is this declaration about? So this declaration, it mainly deals with mitigating the risks which is associated with the development of AI, and second is to make sure all the critical resources are equitably available for AI development. So these are the two important, this was the major outcome of the GPAI summit. Let us go to the leaderboard. Sujit is still holding the first place, followed by Mani. Shankri is in the third place, followed by Kavya and Paul. And 5 players have reached an answer streak of 3. Good going guys, keep continuing. Let us pass on to the next question. Question 6 for today is, which of the following is or are characteristics of quick response code or QR code? Statement 1, they store information in 2 dimensions. Statement 2, they hold more information than the standard barcodes. And statement 3, QR codes do not require a line of sight. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 and 3 only. Option C, 1 and 3 only. And option D, 1, 2 and 3. We've received 44 answers, 45. And yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option A, 1 and 2 only. So what is a QR code? We've come across QR codes in our daily life. We've seen it in UPI payments and all that. It is nothing but it is just a code which is used to store data in a computer understandable format. So when can you retrieve that data? When you are going to scan it with a QR code scanner. And the QR code, it stores informations in 2 dimensions, meaning it can store information horizontally as well as vertically. So this is what differentiates a QR code from a standard barcode. So the statement 1 is correct, and since it is storing information in 2 dimensions, it is capable of storing more information than a standard barcode. So statement 2 is also correct. QR codes do not require a line of sight. That statement is wrong. It is because QR codes do require a line of sight. So what is a line of sight? It is a direct path between the transmitter and receiver, meaning there should be no obstruction when you are trying to scan the QR code. So the answer for this question is option A, 1 and 2 only. Let us go to the leaderboard. We have Sujit in the first place, followed by Mani. Third place is occupied by Shankari, Kavya on the 4th, and there is another Sujit, he is in the 5th place. Good going guys, keep playing. Let us pass on to the 7th question for today. Consider the following statements about neglected tropical diseases. They are a diverse group of communicable diseases. Dengue and leprosy are considered as neglected tropical diseases. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. The clock is ticking guys, come on. More responses are expected. And yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option C, both 1 and 2 are correct. See, the term neglected tropical diseases is self-explanatory. Let us just break it down. Tropical diseases, it means it is prevailing in the tropical and subtropical regions. Around 140 countries lie in this region. And the term neglected, why? It is because not much importance has been given to these diseases as we have given to other diseases. That is why it is neglected tropical diseases. So option 1 is correct, and option 2, dengue, leprosy are considered as neglected tropical diseases is also correct. Both dengue and leprosy, also known as Hansen disease, is a neglected tropical disease. Other examples might include blinding trachoma, lymphatic filariasis, and all these are also other examples of neglected tropical diseases. It is seen that more than 70% of the countries where the neglected tropical diseases have been prevalent belong to the lower income or to the lower middle income economies. The World Health Organization, it has recommended 5 ways to overcome the neglected tropical disease. One is preventive chemotherapy. The second is going to be innovative and intensified disease management. and the third is going to be vector management, which are the carrying agents of these diseases. Fourth is veterinary public health services, and option 5 is provision of sanitation and clean drinking water. So, these ways neglected tropical diseases can be prevented. Let us go to the leaderboard. Oh, Mani has taken over Sujit and come to the first place. Sujit is there on the second place, followed by Shankari, Kavya and Ranjit. Kavya is making with a comeback of 3 in a row. Good going, Kavya. Keep playing. Let us pass on to the 8th question for today. Consider the following statements about African Union. Statement 1, it includes all the countries on the African continent, and statement 2, it also includes members from Asia and Europe. Which of these statements given above is or are incorrect? Option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, both 1 and 2, and option D, neither 1 nor 2. We've got 41 answers. Come on guys, we want more responses. And yes, the time is up. So, the question asked here is, which of these statement is incorrect? Yes, I see most of the people have opted option 2. There are a few people who have taken option 1. Please be careful if the question is statements which are correct or statements which are incorrect. So, here the first statement is correct. African Union, it is a continental grouping. It consists of all the 55 countries on the African continent. Its headquarters is there in Addis Ababa, which is the capital of Ethiopia. It does not include members from Asia and Europe. So, the second statement here is incorrect. Let us go to the leaderboard. We have Mani on the first place, we have Sujit in the second place, Shankari in the third, followed by Kavya and Ranjit. So, we have Viji, she is up by 11 places and she is the highest climber. Good going Viji, keep playing. Let us pass on to the 9th question for today. Consider the following statements about white phosphorus. White phosphorus is a pyrophoric substance that ignites when exposed to oxygen. The smoke produced by white phosphorus is used for visual obstruction in military applications, and white phosphorus munitions are completely banned under international humanitarian law. Which of the following statements are incorrect? Option A, 1 and 3, option B, 2 only, option C, 3 only, option D, 2 and 3 only. The clock is ticking, guys. Yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option C. I have seen most of you have selected option C. Good. So, what is white phosphorus? It is a pyrophoric substance. So, what is a pyrophoric substance? It is something which ignites very easily when it is exposed to air. So, white phosphorus is one such substance. It can burn, producing heat for several degrees Celsius, almost 815 degrees Celsius it can produce. And the smoke which is produced by white phosphorus can be used for visual obstruction, meaning it can be used as a smoke screen. So, if they want to hide the movement of troops on the ground, then the smoke produced by this white phosphorus can be used. The third statement is not correct. It is because white phosphorus munitions are not completely banned. Their use is just regulated by this international humanitarian law. So, they are completely banned. So, that part of the question makes that part of the statement makes the statement wrong. So, the correct answer for this question is option C, 3 only. Third statement is incorrect. Let us pass on to the leaderboard. We have Mani on the first place, followed by Sujit, Shankari, Ranjit and Kavya. Now, Isaac has become the highest climber. He has climbed up by 9 places. Good Isaac, keep playing. Let us pass on to the 10th question for today. Consider the following statements about the Enforcement Directorate. It is a specialized financial investigation agency under the Ministry of Home Affairs. The Enforcement Directorate enforces the Foreign Exchange Management Act and Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C 1 and 2 and option D neither 1 nor 2. We have 43 responses. Time is up. The correct answer for this question is B. Only the second option is correct. It is because it is a specialized financial investigation agency under the Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance. It is not under the Home Affairs Ministry. So this agency, it deals with the enforcement of two laws. One is going to be the Foreign Exchange Management Act, which is a civil law where the officers, they can investigate into contraventions on foreign exchange laws and regulations, and they can impose penalties to those who have contravened the law. And the second is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which is a criminal law. Here the officers, they are empowered to conduct investigations to find out the proceeds which has come out of crime. So we all know what money laundering is, right? You either hide the source of illegal money, or sometimes you convert the money which you have received in an illegal way into a clean source. So this is money laundering. So to prevent that money laundering, we have this act, and to enforce this act, we have the Enforcement Directorate. Enforcement Directorate has been in the news very often these days. So it is good if you know a few more things about it. It was established in 1956 and its headquarters is there in New Delhi. The Enforcement Directorate's director, he is appointed as per the provisions of the Central Vigilance Commission Act of 2003. With this, let us go on to the leaderboard. We still have Mani in the first place, good, followed by Sujit, Shankri, Ranjit, and there is another Sujit here. So Mani, you have the highest answer streak of 10, congratulations, keep going. Let us pass on to the 11th question. Consider the following statements about generic drugs. It is a medication which is created to be the same as an existing approved brand name drug in quality and performance characteristics, and approved generic medicines are generally sold after patents protecting the brand name version end. Which of the statements are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, and neither 1 nor 2. We have 32 answers, 35, 37, come on guys. Yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option C. Both the statements are correct. Now let us understand what are generic drugs. For example, a company, after so much of research, it comes up with a drug for a particular disease. So what is it going to do? It is going to apply for a patent so that nobody else will manufacture that particular drug. And it has to recover all the cost which it has spent on research and development, right? So what it does is the price of the drug will be a little high. So that is a brand name drug. Now after the period of the patent is over, all other manufacturers can also replicate and they can also make their own versions of this drug. So these drugs can be called as generic drugs. So generic drugs, it is having two components. So one is the active ingredient and the second is the inert ingredient. The active ingredient which is curing the disease will be the same as the brand name drug, and the passive ingredient, it can be different because it is only used to change the color or the taste of the drug. So since the active ingredient is the same, it is going to have the same performance characteristics like the brand name drug, and also the compounds which is used in the generic drug is having the same molecular structure as of what is used in the brand name drugs. So the performance characteristics and the quality is going to be the same, and they are sold only after the patents which is protecting the brand name version is done. So now why do we need these generic drugs? It is because it is cost effective. How come it is cost effective? One, they do not have to conduct so much of research to come up with this similar drug. The research is already done, they only have to slightly modify it because the active ingredient is the same. And two, they need not do so much of marketing. Many manufacturers are going to compete for this particular drug, so the price is obviously going to come down. So this is only the advantage of generic drugs. Why are this in news? It is because generic drugs are, the topic of generic drugs being used for rare diseases treatment has been in the news recently. With this, let us go to the leaderboard. Mani is still there on the first place, followed by Sujit, Shankari, Sujit and Ranjit. Monisha, she is having a streak of 3. I think she is back in the game. Good going, Monisha. Keep playing. Let us pass on to the 12th question. The Geological Survey of India functions under option A, Ministry of Science and Technology, option B, Ministry of Mines, option C, Ministry of Earth Sciences and option D, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. We have 36 responses so far. Come on guys, everyone try to answer please. The clock is ticking. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option B, Ministry of Mines. So, the Geological Survey of India, it was set up in 1851 under the Ministry of Mines. Why was it first set up? Was to find coal for utilization in the railways. But as time passed, it was used to create and update national geoscientific information and also to assess the various minerals which is present in the country. The headquarters of GSI is there in Kolkata and it is having 6 regional offices throughout the country. With this, let us pass on to the leaderboard. We have Mani still in the first place with 11,000 points and Sujit is in the second place with 9,000 points, followed by Shankari, Sujit and Paul. Good going guys, keep playing. Passing on to the 13th question. Consider the following statements about cervical cancer. It is caused by chronic infection with human papilloma virus. There is no vaccine for cervical cancer. Which of these statements above is or are correct? Option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, both 1 and 2, option D, neither 1 nor 2. We've got 37 answers so far. 41, the last 5 seconds. The correct answer is option A. See, most of you have got it right. Good. What is cervix? It is the lowermost part of the uterus, and a cancer which is going to affect the cervix is called as cervical cancer. Why is this mainly caused? It is caused by a virus which is called as human papilloma virus. So, the first statement is correct. The second statement is wrong. It is because the government, it has come up, there is a vaccine which was developed by Serum Institute of India, which is called as Cervavac, and the government of India, it has announced a nationwide vaccination drive for adolescent girls in the age group of 9 to 14 years. Okay. So, this vaccine, it is going to target the human papilloma virus, which is the major reason for cervical cancer, and it is also effective against few other cancers as well. So, can only people from 9 to 14 years take this vaccine? No, not necessary. But if this vaccination is taken before sexual exposure in the age of 9 to 14 years, it is found to be 99% more effective against cervical cancer. With this, let us pass on to the leaderboard. We still have Mani in the first place, followed by Sujit. The other Sujit has come to the third place now. Shankari and Paul are in the 4th and 5th places respectively, and 4 players, they have reached an answer streak of 5. Very good guys, keep playing. The last 2 questions are left. Passing on to the 14th question. Consider the following statements about neutrinos. They lack electrical charge and hardly interact with other forms of matter. They cannot be produced through artificial processes. Studying neutrinos can help us understand the interior of the sun. How many of the above statements given is or are correct? Option A, 1 only, option B, only 2, option C, all 3, and option D, none. We've got 31 answers, 34, 38, and yes, the time is up. The correct answer for this question is option D. I've seen most of you have chosen option B, 2 and 3 only. Okay. The first statement, they lack electrical charge and hardly interact with other forms of matter. So, what are these neutrinos? Neutrinos are nothing but subatomic particles and they have a very small mass. Remember, they do not have an electrical charge. Since they do not have an electrical charge, they are not able to interact with other forms of matter. If they are not able to interact with other forms of matter, it is going to make it difficult to detect and to study them. So, the first statement is correct. The second statement says they cannot be produced through artificial processes. It is wrong because naturally neutrinos are produced inside the stars and in supernovae. It is a high energy process taking place inside the stars, and artificially you can create neutrinos in particle accelerators as well as in nuclear power plants. So, the second statement is wrong. The third statement, studying neutrinos can help us understand interior of the sun. Now, if you consider the sun, the visible light which reaches us comes from the outer surface of the sun. Similarly, the neutrinos which are known as solar neutrinos which reach us comes from the core of the sun. So, if you are able to detect and study those neutrinos, you will be able to understand what is happening inside the sun. So, can it only be used to study the sun? No, it can be used to study different particles which is there in the universe. It is why? Because they do not interact. So, if they are not able to interact, you will be able to probe into different ages through which the universe has evolved. Let us pass on to the leaderboard. We still have Mani on the first place, followed by Sujit on the third, followed by Shankari and Paul on the fourth and fifth players. Good guys, keep going. We have reached the last question for today. Passing on to the 15th question. With reference to sickle cell anemia, consider the following statements. It is an inherited genetic disease. The condition results in shortage of red blood cells that deprive the body of oxygen. The disease burden from sickle cell anemia in India is prevalent in tribal populations. Which of these statements are correct? 1 and 2 only, option B only 2, option C all 3 and option D none. Okay, the correct answer is option C, all the statements are correct here. So, it is what is sickle cell anemia? It is an inherited genetic disease. So, what is a genetic disease? It is caused due to changes in the mutation, it is caused due to mutation in the genes. So, when you inherit the genes from your parents, these changes also get inherited. So, this is an inherited genetic disease. So, what actually happens? We all know that hemoglobin, it carries oxygen throughout the body. The hemoglobin is having 4 protein units, 2 of alpha and 2 of beta. So, if there is any mutation in the gene which is producing these beta protein units, then the hemoglobin is going to become sickle shaped. We all know how a sickle looks like, right? It is going to be similar to alphabet C. So, when it is in this shape, it makes flow through the blood vessels very difficult. If it is going to be round, it is easily flowing through and oxygen is easily transported. When it is sickle shaped, it is going to obstruct the flow of blood and it sometimes even blocks the whole blood vessel. So, the oxygen supply is going to get reduced. And also cells which are the the cells which are affected by the sickle cell anemia, they do not have a longer lifespan. RBCs generally, the average lifespan is about 120 days, but if it is going to be affected, the lifespan of it also reduces. So, it results in a shortage of RBC, which results in lower hemoglobin for transmitting oxygen, and so we do not have sufficient oxygen, the body is deprived of oxygen. So, the first 2 statements are correct. The third statement is that sickle cell anemia, it is prevalent among the tribal populations. It is mostly present in the central Indian districts. The tribes which are mostly affected are Pawara, Bil, Madhya, Gond from Maharashtra and all that. There are small pockets in the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and all these regions. So, can you treat this? It is a genetic disorder. So, complete elimination is definitely going to be a challenge. So, the treatment options which are available for now are gene therapy and stem cell therapy transplants. With this, we've come to the end of the 15th question. Let us have a look at the leaderboard. Okay, we have Sujit on the 3rd place in the overall quiz. The 2nd place is occupied by Sujit, and the 1st place is occupied by Mani. Good going, guys. Congratulations to all the winners. Okay, thank you all for participating in the quiz. Keep learning, keep growing, never stop learning. I will meet you all again with another such initiative.